Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, folks, August 21st, the last day of the DNC. Thank the Lord. How much of this can the country take? It is a cringe fest. It is a lie fest. A weird day, too. You had freaking Chuck Schumer coming out, acting like an idiot. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. Who the hell wants to sit through that? I sure in hell didn't, but we're going to show you the highlights today, folks. We got a jam-packed episode for all today. Some of you are asking, where's the notification from Rumble? I think it's just lagging today a little bit. The reason why I say that is it actually took my stream a little bit longer to process than normal. So, we cut them some slack. They're smaller than YouTube, but they're growing. With that being said, folks, if you haven't already, hop in the live chat. We got a lot of Patriots over there. Jason, Pat, Kathleen, Miriam. We got Karen Catmom, Devil's Advocate. We got Mizzy, Weave. I mean, the whole crew and gang is here. Let's jump into the news because I want to make sure we get through everything today. Now, before we jump into the highlights of the DNC, we have this that just kind of is being covered up by the media. Nobody's really talking about it. We talked about it in the past. Here's an update. Byron Donalds, urges House GOP leaders to vote on Biden impeachment after bombshell report. Now, if you didn't hear, and this was a great political move by Republicans, this came out yesterday. So not only during the DNC was there all this craziness with these psychos coming on stage and just lying to your face like Joe Biden, but also there was these people breaking down barricades, violently hitting police officers, and also these RVs that are killing innocent babies. They did, I think, 10 to 25 abortions yesterday right there at the DNC. I mean, it's wild what the Democrats are willing to do here, folks. It's insane. And people are like, hell yeah, this party's awesome. They're the party of liberty and freedom. So you have that taking place, right? And like, you had all these people out for Joe. Joe, we love you. You're great. You know, they chauffeur out Kamala Harris. Joe, we love you. Thank you so much for stepping down. And then with all that hype in air quotes, the Republican Party does this. Oh, they do. I mean, I didn't even know they were going to do this. Nobody did. The Republican Party comes out and says, hey, just a heads up, everybody. Yeah. That guy in the White House and the lady that's running for the office of the presidency, they're all corrupt. I know we know this, but a lot of people didn't. Joe Biden just somehow got millions of dollars from other companies. Just public corruption taking place. Now, we've been talking about this for years. We've done we didn't even cover any other news. We just did an entire 1-hour episode on the Biden family corruption, going back to like 2010 with Devin Archer and Hunter Biden getting on the board of Burisma Holdings. Devin Archer was on the board before Hunter Biden ever was, when his father was vice president under Barack Obama, who was talking yesterday. Makes you wonder if Barack was involved in any of this. We went through an hour-long Romania, Ukraine, Russia, Shokin from Ukraine, the quid pro quo from Joe Biden. I mean, all that stuff, the shell companies, the financial risk that was associated with those shell companies in the span of dozens that you'll never see in your lifetime. If you haven't seen that episode, folks, try to check it out in our video catalog. It is wild. So Byron is urging House GOP leaders to hold a chamber vote on impeaching President Biden days after the highly anticipated report accused the commander-in-chief of committing impeachable offenses. So if you haven't seen that report, Biden committed impeachable conduct, defraud United States to enrich his family's business. Now, this was crazy. There was a 292-page report that came out from the House Oversight Committee. Again, this is where Comer was looking under the hood of the Biden family. Republicans said there is overwhelming evidence that Biden participated in a conspiracy to monetize his office of public trust to enrich his family. Oh, what do you mean? You mean this guy just became a millionaire just from being in Congress? And then the vice president, he just all of a sudden became a millionaire? They alleged that the Biden family and their business associates received tens of millions of dollars from foreign interests by leading those interests to believe that such payments would provide them with access to influence with President Biden. Gee, you mean the Biden family name? You mean the fact of all those text messages, emails, business partners, the meetings in the White House, dinners, the golf courses? You mean all that is finally coming to fruition? No raids on his homes. No raids on the multiple homes he has. No raids on his brother's home or his son's home or his daughter's home. No, but the FBI will bring guns out and willing to shoot Donald Trump, by the way, according to what was in the documents. They'll raid Mar-a-Lago, for some classified documents or some hubbub. They'll go through Melania's underwear drawer because they're weirdos. But him, nothing, don't worry about it, no big deal. So he's monetizing this. I know we all know this, Patriots. We're involved in the news. But you got to realize, in the same way that 17 to 20% of Americans at least, didn't even know that the Hunter Biden laptop was legit. In the same way here, they still don't believe this. But even though there's no shred of Donald Trump actually doing anything really illegal in his businesses, mind you, he has a lot of them, and the fact that they've looked under every single piece of paper they possibly could, and they got him on a misrepresentation of a legal expense because he paid a fucking lawyer. Nothing happens to him. Michelle, thank you so much. Good morning, Patriots. Love you, Brad. Hey, I love you guys too. You know that. I appreciate that, folks. You guys give your hard-earned money to this show, and please know it is recognized. What's going on over there at Rumble? I see you, folks. I want to make sure Rumble is working. All right, we're good. So back to this psycho. So the committee said that the Biden family and its associates received more than $27 million that we know about. Look at this. The Biden family leveraged Biden's position as vice president to obtain more than $8 million in loans from Democratic benefactors. Oh, the loans have not been repaid. Oh, and the paperwork supporting many of those loans doesn't even exist and has not been produced to committees. Imagine just what they haven't gotten to. But remember, Donald Trump's bad. Donald Trump is a terrible man. He takes money from Russia. How about the $27 million that we know about? How about where Hunter Biden all of a sudden gets all this knowledge and wisdom about natural gas company, even though he doesn't know anything about gas other than the gas that's produced from his fucking meth pipe that he's smoking while hooking up with a prostitute in a Mopel 6. I sound like Joe Biden a little bit there. I kind of slurred my words, I'll be honest. Okay, I messed up, all right? I didn't bring my cup of coffee in here. I was like, hey, the ticker was going down. I was like, shoot, I got no coffee. Ball Brad Show mug. So that's my excuse. That's my excuse. I kind of sound like Kamala Harris, where I'm like slurring my words, like, we're going to make America great again. Oh shit, that's Donald Trump. We're gonna bring bang. We're not gonna go back. That's what she says. Anywho, so that's big news, and it was a great political play by Republicans to do that because it completely sat there and delegitimized the entire Democrat apparatus because they all knew what was going on. So did Barack Obama. Barack Obama, you guys, if you want to read a great freaking book that destroys Barack Obama, like if you thought my book was hardcore in terms of destroying the left and the Democrat Party, read Ben Shapiro's book. It's called The People versus Barack Obama. Secret Agent, if you could find that and link that for me in the chat for the Patriots. It's called The People versus Barack Obama. It's a legal argument by a lawyer, Ben Shapiro, that completely eviscerates Eric Holder, Joe Biden, Barack Obama. It talks about the Fast and Furious case. Completely just knocks them upside their head. So let's get to the DNC. Now, I want to show you a little bit about what they were saying after night one. So the conclusion of that, and then we'll morph into night two. Now, just listen to the campaign spokesman for the Harris campaign on this NBC interview here. Just listen to this.
Stage at 11:30. President Biden wound up taking the stage at 11:30. By our count, about 45 minutes later than he was supposed to. Was that a mistake? What happened?
Oh, yeah, I don't think it was a mistake. Look, I think that the team here on the ground in Chicago has worked tirelessly to put this convention together for us. It was night one. I think anytime you're bringing an event like this and building something with this many people, there are bound to be some things that go a little awry.
Yeah, Democrats aren't used to filling stadiums. He's right. Yeah, this many people, we're just not used to it. Yeah, we know you're not because nobody supports you guys because you're trash. And then she asks, does Kamala need to come out and explain to voters where she stands on issues? And the dude says, well, no, not really. Everybody in that stadium, matter of fact, every Democrat across the country actually doesn't know her policies. According to Jackie Heinrich of Fox News, who's in the building, by the way, on night one, yesterday, well, I guess 2 days ago, there was still, Kamala Harris took the stage. Please take this in I don't know, all seriousness, but all factual. No policy on the website still. Like, you could go donate to Kamala Harris, and there's no policy for her and Tim Walz on the night one of the DNC. So people are there rooting and chanting for her that don't even know what the F she's for.
But does she need to come out and clearly explain to voters where she stands on those issues right now?
Look, I think she needs to come out and address the concerns that she's hearing from voters, and what some of those concerns.
Yes.
Well, no,
But does she?
Well, no. She doesn't need to come out and talk about the concerns of voters. How could she? She's not talking to them. She hasn't done any interviews. She hasn't done anything. Still, as I mentioned, this is her plan, you guys. It's all fake. It's all facade. I explained this yesterday. It's all scripted. It's like a freaking reality show. They have a lot of people. They're paying a lot of money to strategize on how they can beat Donald Trump. I'm telling you, this was the game plan. The game plan is to sit there and keep their strategy as tight-knit as they can, even going as far as, we're going to be at the DNC. After the DNC, probably in the next week, she'll do an interview. Before the 31st of August, she's going to do, is it 31st? I believe there's 31 in August. She's going to do an interview. After that, there's only 10 days between that interview, roughly, depending on when she does it, and Donald Trump's debate against her. Why? I explain this, and it's freaking genius by the DNC, or at least the Democrat Party. Kamala's for no fracking. She's going to destroy this economy. She doesn't want to drill at all. I want to drill. I want to pump the economy, make that energy prices cheaper. I'm going to cut it in half. Donald, that's not my policy whatsoever. Do you not remember that I came out just only 6-7 days ago and told the American people and the public that I want to drill? Donald, are you feeling okay? She doesn't want to sit there and deal with inflation. It's going to be bad. It was 9.1%. Never seen it in some people's lifetimes. Donald, I just did an interview again. What is going on? I just did an interview yesterday, 6 days ago. Do you not remember how I told everybody that I want to figure out the inflation crisis? She wants to destroy the border. She doesn't want to fix it. The borders there. I didn't do anything. Donald, I want to put more Border Patrol agents there. What are you talking about? Right? And then playing into his age. Still playing into his age. He can't remember. There's something going on with him. What's wrong with him? Just like they were doing with this interview during Elon Musk. Oh, he's slurring his words. At no point could have been maybe the compression in the microphone or the cell phone that's being compressed in the Twitter, because Twitter is still, or X is still working its problems out. So that's the game plan, you guys. Be prepared for it. That's what they're going to do. You think they're going to play fair? You think they're going to play fair? They've been playing fair forever. They fucking cheated in the last election. They're going to do it again. I'm not even kidding. Dan Bongino went and voted yesterday. He broke the law. Okay. He even admitted it. He made a fake ID, you guys. It wasn't even him. And he showed the lady, and she goes, "Is that you?" He goes, "Yes, sir." Not even close to being him. "Yes, sir." And she goes, "Come on in." What does that mean? It doesn't matter if you're an illegal. It doesn't matter if you're a citizen. You're going to vote. You're in it. That's fine. They're going to do it again, you guys. Millions are going to do it. People are going to vote from properties that don't even exist. How do we know that? They already did it in the past. Nobody's changed anything. Is Michigan cleaning up their voter registration rolls? No, sir. Even though they're being sued by the GOP. Is Nevada cleaning up their voter registration rolls, even though they're being sued by the GOP? No, sir. Is Pennsylvania cleaning up their voter registration rolls? The same Pennsylvania that changed their voter laws, which they weren't allowed to do in the last election, to extend it and do some foozery and accept certain ballots when they should have been accepted in the first place. They haven't cleaned anything up either. Be prepared, you guys. There's going to be some foozery going on again. How about ballot harvesting? We saw that lady that was caught on CNN by accident, just stuffing the ballots full. It's going to be wild, folks. Eric Birch, keeping the lights on again. You guys, my lights were going in and out. Did you see that? You guys are keeping them on. We always say that. Eric Birch, thank you so much. True American patriot. You guys are taking your wallets out and you're giving hard-earned money back to somebody at least holds your values and cares about this country. Really means a lot, guys. Thank you so much. As you know, really, your guys' money is what actually keeps things going. I've explained this before. We make anywhere from like 6 cents to a couple dollars per live stream, okay? So please don't think we're making like the hundreds or thousands of dollars on the live stream and stuff like that. No. Okay. So back to this. Sorry, slight deviation. You guys know how we do it here. It's unscripted. We're not the DNC, baby. We're not the Democrat Party. There's no teleprompter. There's just me and the Patriots and a microphone and camera. Here we go. So is there a single policy that you could point to? I can't believe this. To where Kamala Harris would govern differently than Joe Biden? We don't need to rehash everything Joe Biden's done, right? The record illegal immigration, the record inflation, the terrible economy, the foreign policy's trash. Here we go.
Will there be any notable differences? Is there one policy where you can point to where Kamala Harris would govern differently than President Biden?
Look, I think it's seen as across the board. At the end of the day, for some of the things, when it comes to it, the vice president is listening to voters. This isn't a comparison or contrast. She's been a partner to President Biden as they have delivered a record amount.
Look, they're leaning into it. Yeah, she's been with them. She's negotiated deals with them. She was in there with Afghanistan when 13 Americans got blown up and fucking people are falling from the skies from our planes, which I've never actually seen before. Just bodies raining down. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. It's wild. Tarbucks, you guys are going super sane today. $5 over at Rumble. Thank you so much. Trump train, baby. Hell yeah, damn right, man. Look, we need Trump. I'm telling you guys, get out and vote. If grandma can't get there, pick her up, carry her like the men we are, and get her down there. If you need to sit there and carry her, you know what I mean, and kind of tilt her a little bit so she can get that pencil on that ballot. Say, get it, grandma. There you go. Not Kamala, Trump. There you go. Yep, Mr. 47. There you go. Yep. Just tilt her. You know what I mean? Get the biceps. Start curling, Pat, Jason, Neil, Shib. Well, Shib can't vote, but you know what I mean? Get the curls. If you can't carry grandma, then, you know, something's going on. You got to start lifting, boys, because we need to get people out there. We got Fenton here. We are one stolen election away from the end. Yo, man. Yo, she is left than Joe, you guys, and she's working with the guy. She's left of Joe. Now, Democrat governor says Vance should go through the pain of having a family member raped. There's certain things when I understand, you guys, when it comes out of my mouth, it sounds insane. Like if again, I'm fully aware that when I say something, it's like, did he just say what I think he said? Yes. The dude said, this is Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear wishes for a family member of J.D. Vance to be raped. This is after the DNC again. This is after night one. I promise you we'll transition to night two. There's just so much stuff that's wild, cringe, insane coming from this party, man.
Think about what some people have had to go through because of these laws. J.D. Vance calls pregnancy resulting from rape inconvenient. Like, inconvenience is traffic. I mean, make him go through this. I mean, think about what.
By the way, there's a chapter about abortion in my book, last chapter of the book. I take you through like ancient Egypt, you guys, on abortions. Like when abortions first started, like 6,000 years of history I take you through to like the current day where Roe v. Wade came from, how it was basically an emanation that they just pulled out of thin air, like out of their ass. They literally created stuff that doesn't exist. And even the own clerks of the Supreme Court of the time that wrote it in even said, yeah, this was bad law, should never have been law, it's wrong. So check that. That chapter enough is probably worth the price of the book. This guy comes out and says some crazy things. Majority of abortions are out of convenience. The rape and incest make up at best 1%. You're talking 0.5% of abortions. And this is what they do. I talk about this all the time. The Democrat Party and the left, this is what they do to manipulate their audiences and their people and the American people. They'll take outliers, extreme outliers, not even close, like the rape and incest. And what they'll do is they'll attribute that to the whole of the data and create policy for it. That's not how things should work. You want to look at the data set as a whole and attribute it to those that are, I don't know, maybe a part of the data, not extreme outliers. Well, J.D. Vance recognized this, and this is what he had to say.
Disgusting. And I think it's important that the media not misrepresent what I actually say, because then it leaves a guy like Beshear to go off and basically, at least effectively fantasizing about some member of my family getting raped so that I know what it feels like. I just think that's really gross and really disgusting. Look, I mean, the guy's a complete loser, and he's gone after me repeatedly, but this particular thing, going after my family, really bothered me. And look, the comments that he's talking about, I never once called rape inconvenient. It's a total fiction of the Democratic National Committee. I never said it. I never said anything like it. What I was talking about was the context of an unexpected pregnancy, not one caused by rape. And I think that we shouldn't see unexpected pregnancies, babies that come from them, as inconveniences. Of course, rape is a terrible, terrible tragedy and a terrible, terrible thing. I never said what the Democratic Party accused me of saying.
Hand to God, this is the first time I've ever seen this entire clip. I stopped it after he called the guy a loser yesterday when I was pulling this clip for you guys. That's exactly what I just said, was it not? That the majority of abortions are just actual conveniences. You hooked up with somebody, one night stand, or you weren't ready yet, or you don't have the finance to have a baby, whatever it is. It's just the vast, like, not even close. Almost all abortions are just out of convenience. They've already ran the studies. Again, just check out the book here, guys. If you can get it like at a library, I don't know if you can, then pick it up at a library. I don't know if it's there, but you know, you get the Kindle for like, I don't know, like $6, $7 or something like that. It's wild with the Democrat. Mind you, they're performing abortions at the DNC. Like, yo, this party has the balls to pull up RVs and say, yeah, we're gonna fucking kill people right there. Like the ancient Aztecs, just sitting there tearing out people's hearts, just throwing them down. Yeah. So these people are radical. And like everything you need to know about the radical leftists trying to shut down the DNC, I got right here prepared for you. Folks, they're tearing down barriers to the point where now they have 3 levels of barriers to sit there and stop these psychos from going full extreme. Mind you, these people are Marxists. They're crazy. So we got a variety of clips here. And I want to make sure I don't pull out your eardrums. But here we go on this one. Make sure I don't blow your eardrums out. Here we
go. This is Spencer Lindquist. We're here in Chicago. And we're directly across the street from the Democratic National Convention, where, of course, the Democratic Party is trying to build up support and unity behind their candidate. But we've got thousands of different left-wing protesters out directly across the street, showing that the party is anything but united. This is Spencer.
Oh, that's not, that's like calm, right? Just standing out there. Hey, and I will always speak on behalf of them. You can go out and do that as long as you're being calm. You know what I mean? You're not being psycho. Go out and protest. I get that. But the tearing down the barriers, beating the crap out of police officers, treating and beating the crap out of journalists in some cases, like we've seen from Antifa and Black Lives Matter, that stuff I'm not for. So a protester outside the DNC holds a sign reading, "End Israel, stand with Hamas." I shit you not. These people vote Democrat, you guys.
My son, what do you want to know about it? It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. End Israel. The only way that's going to happen, such as is...
For the longest time, these people, it literally says "End Israel," and then the Hamas slogan down there at the bottom. These people, for the longest time, no, we don't want to end Israel. No, we just want a 2-state system. We just want Palestine to like be its own thing and Israel be its own thing. No, it's all out in the open now. They don't give 2 shits anymore because there's nothing happening to them in terms of other people coming out and say, whoa, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'll come out and say, dude, you're crazy. I don't want the Palestinian people to be dead. I don't want the Israeli people to be dead. I would love for them to get along, but there's one side, and I don't know what's going on with some Republicans and conservatives. There's one side that supports Hamas, and it's the Palestinian people. They did a study. 70% of Palestinians support Hamas. Folks, they went there and beheaded people. They killed. For those that still think that this is like okay for what the Hamas people did, which I don't think there anybody is. You guys, when they went to that festival, meaning these Hamas, these terrorists, the women there, they hung them from trees alive and burned them alive. Every tree that was taken up at that festival, like think of like, you see all those trees here? There's a ton of them, right? And there's some behind them. The trees at that festival had bodies hanging from them, and they were all women that they raped while they were alive, and they burned to a crisp. The media doesn't talk about that. They sat there and fucking gutted them, you guys, like you saw in medieval times, and had their organs spilling out on the ground. And you have these people, oh my God, no, how could Israel do this? Can you imagine if they did that to one single American? They did that to one American. How pissed would you be? Democrat, Republican, I don't care who it was. You'd lose your bleep. You would lose your bleep. But they did this to a lot of women on October 7th down there at the festival. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that.
Through armed resistance, military force. Israel isn't going to just roll over. They've been doing this for 7 to 6 years. That's why it comes down to military armed resistance.
And I will say, I'm not even saying Israel's perfect. That's not what I'm saying. They've done some bad things too. They've even done bad things to us. I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but what I will say is, if you sit there and try to kill 1,700 people, not even try, did, then yeah, there's going to be some sort of consequences, and sometimes that consequences can get out of control. Welcome to warfare, and it sucks, and it's freaking terrible. But what I've seen from a lot of conservative Republicans is they're hounding Israel and the United States funding Israel, that they're protecting themselves against a country that wants to wipe them off the face of the earth. So when you sit there and perform a bunch of bombings and you kill innocent civilians, which is freaking terrible, then they're up in arms. But we're still all the up in arms about all the people that died and were beheaded, lit on fire, raped, slit open, thrown on the back of trucks, limbs broken, looks like a disfigured Barbie doll in the back of a van, and raping dead bodies as well. We don't want to talk about those things, but we'll talk about Israel killing thousands of Palestinians, which we don't even know for sure the exact number. It could be higher, it could be lower. Again, it's terrible. Nobody wants this. How about we get somebody in office that can actually solve this problem to where this wouldn't have happened in the first place, like, I don't know, Donald Trump. But here's this psycho, Cornel West, who I believe it was this guy who said that the Constitution should be thrown in the trash years ago, or another gentleman that looks like him. So again, this is all at the DNC.
Message to Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party right now.
I say shame on the Democratic Party that can't meet a low moral litmus test of calling genocide into question. You can't deny it. Quit enabling it. There's precious human beings there. And in fact, if you don't do it, it's going to be another sign of your myopia.
Thank you.
By the way, that guy's a huge race baiter. I don't even know how that guy was ever... I think he was in education for a bit. I think he was a professor. The dude's wild. He's off his rocker. He still thinks racism is a massive problem. He thinks systemic racism is a huge problem in the United States. Does it exist, meaning racism? Absolutely. It will always exist. There's always going to be idiots out there doing something evil or saying evil things. But I don't think racism is a massive problem in the United States. I really don't, to be quite honest. But remember, it's the Democrat Party that is the party of the Klan. It's the party of anti-civil rights. It's the party of keeping black people on a metaphorical plantation by offering them all these services, governmental services, and it's never done them any good. Come over to the Republican side. We would love for you to flourish. You have just as many opportunities as anybody else in America. It's dependent upon you as an individual of how you're going to sit there and play out those variety of possibilities so that you can be successful. Maybe you won't be. Maybe things will happen in your life that won't allow you, but you can't blame it on racism. Maybe blame it on either you did something or you didn't do something, or whatever. But to sit there and always use it as a scapegoat is just silly to me. It's funny because Asian Americans are the most prosperous people in the United States, and nobody ever talks about them. They outcompete white people. So do Indians. Indian Americans sit there and make more money on average than white Americans do. Nobody wants to talk about that either. Guess what? I think we talked about it in the book, disparities. So here's that third layer of DNC fencing, yo. It's so, people read this on the Democrat side of the aisle and they're like, we need the fencing, we need the barricades, we can't let people in. Can we just take that logic like 2,000 miles south at the Mexico border and maybe make that work out too? Can we just, yeah, you know what I mean? Can we maybe almost just sit there and at the moment that you have Democrats at the fence going, we need the fence, protect me, these people are going to hurt me. Like, can we just pick them up, put them on a plane, and then like 5 hours later go, okay, that same logic, work with me. Kamala, that same logic, you know, that fence that you just saw that was metal, that you said we needed to protect ourselves, we need security. You know that whole thing? Yeah. 5 hours ago, right? There's another metal wall right here. Okay? but it doesn't cover everything for our security because you're allowing terrorists to come in. We maybe use that same logic they used 5 hours ago to build a border wall here, and maybe put border agents there to protect it. Maybe, Kamala? They can't do it. No, what do you mean? What do you mean? So I just had to bring that up to y'all. Look at this. Another barricade. So there's one on the outside here that's closest to us. They're literally currently right now building a second one, and then behind that is another barricade. Yo, you didn't see this at the RNC, did we? RNC, there's people walking around. We had events outside, by the way. Like Charlie Kirk had an ongoing stream outside the RNC, just on stage, no walls, nothing, just shooting the shit with people, doing his show. There's nothing. There's security going on outside. They couldn't get these walls up fast enough. And this is also what it looked like. Look at this.
Stop funding the genocide! Biden Harris, you can't hide! Stop funding the genocide! Biden Harris, you can't hide! Stop funding the genocide!
Now, when you see people, see that guy with the cell phone that's like right next to my head, and there's a guy literally right above my head? Why are you wearing a ski mask, a mask, and a hood? You guys, it's hotter than shit outside. I don't mean to cuss. Well, I do. And he's wearing all black. These are people that want to do some sort of shady stuff, and they don't want their face seen because they're freaking cowards. They are cowards. That's what they are. They don't even have the balls to sit there and show their face when they're going to commit some sort of crime, or they're going to sit there and do something stupid, attack a police officer, throw sharp objects at them, whatever it may be. And this is supposed to be freedom of expression, you guys. They're just expressing themselves is what it is. They have nothing to hide. And that's why nothing ever happens to them, because they can't track them. They can't find them at all. At all. Really wild things coming out from the DNC. And we'll get into night 2 in just 1 second. But knock, knock, who's there, folks? Boom! Unexpected medical bills. An emergency happens, and boom! You're broke. Especially under Kamalanomics. Sometimes we just need a hand up to get out of tough situations. And that's where Give, Send, Go comes in. I want to make sure I plug this, folks, because if Kamala Harris gets back in, things are going to be tough. And we got to work together as a community. Give, Send, Go is a community-driven fundraising platform that empowers individuals to raise their funds for the needs in their lives and for friends and family in a world where we desperately need alternative options for companies to partner with. Give, Send, Go is a company that shares your values, ditch the big tech platforms that take your money and don't actually even give it to everybody, especially the person of in need. Head over to givesendgo.com and start your fundraising journey today. That's Give It and Go. Give, Send, Go. Again, givesendgo.com, folks. Get out there and support your community members. And that's how we're supposed to be. It's supposed to be when you're looking for help, and everybody needs help at some point in their life, you're supposed to go to your family members. And some of us don't have families, so then you go to your friends. And if the friends aren't there, then you go to your neighbors. If your neighbors aren't willing or can't help you out, you go to your community as a whole. If your community or locality can't help you out, then you go to the state level. Then at the end, you go to the federal government. But the Democrat Party has changed that line of thinking. Now Americans go to the federal government, state, local, community, neighborhood, their neighbor. Then they go to their friends and family. And, well, it stops there because obviously that's where you'd have to stop. So they reversed it. And that's why the Democrat Party relies on the government so much. So let's get into freaking DNC night 2. The cringe fest. The what the hell was that? So the crowd starts chanting, and there's no exact order to this, okay? I'm just going to show you random highlights of this. The DNC crowd starts chanting, do something, with Michelle Obama on stage. Folks, what do you mean do something? You're in office now, Democrats. She's in office now. Kamala could do it today. Do they forget that the Democrats have been in the office of the presidency for 12 of the last 16 years? No thought process here. No linear thinking. Yo, you guys destroyed things in 2008 and it had to be rebuilt with Donald Trump thereafter. Now here you are destroying things again for this country. And now you're like, do something. Prices are expensive because of you guys. And they're going to go out and vote. I'm keeping it together, okay? I'm doing a great job. If you haven't already, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. We do the 6 a.m. Pacific time every weekday with a bunch of patriots. If you're just viewing us, guys, hop in the live chat. We would love for you to join us. We got a lot of patriots in there right now that would love to engage with you. So come hang out. Really, it's a great time. If you don't know how to do that, just log into your account, go in there and type. You don't even have to pay any money. Just go in there and come hang out with us. They would love to have you, as would I, and I could see what you read. So there was that one, and then Kamala Harris. I don't know why this guy's out here. Why the hell is Kamala Harris's husband out there? Doug notes Kamala isn't even at the DNC because she's with freakish slob Tim Walz reading their recycled speeches off a teleprompter in Milwaukee.
And to Kamala, who, well, we just saw where she is. She's out on the trail listening to and talking with voters.
No, she's not. She's not even at her own convention. She's out there every day working for the American people. She's not even at her own fucking convention. Remember when Donald Trump sat there for hours listening to everybody's speeches? Pretty good. It's pretty good. I could have done better, but it's good. Holy lordy. So here he is again. Just can you guys make this out?
And I rode to Little League practice in the way back of my coach's wood-paneled station wagon. And if we did well, we got to have a Slurpee after.
I don't even know what to say. The whole night was like this, you guys. It was weird. All I have is it's a cringe fest, and again, that's why I said, what was that? I don't know how to describe their day 2 yesterday. Yeah, her husband is really cringe, his servant. I see you, brother. By the way, guys, if you become a member, I could see the badges and it highlights you for me a little bit better, so I could see you amongst everybody else. So if you join us, it's 99 cents a month. A month, yeah, not a day. 99 cents. The 99-cent store closed down. We're still keeping it going. So here he says, you know, that laugh, I love that laugh. He loves, I'm not even going to play that. I don't even want to bother with that crap. It's not a good laugh. Here's Michelle Obama says, until recently, she had a deep pit in her stomach and a palpable sense of dread. Until Democrats just banded together and performed a coup to kick out Joe Biden. Weird.
Until recently, I have mourned the dimming of that hope. And maybe you've experienced the same feelings, that deep pit in my stomach, a palpable sense of dread about the future. Until recently.
Again, you would think, that palpable dread about the future, why? I mean, if you were so sure that Joe Biden was going to win and that everything was going fine under his administration, what future would you have to worry about? If he set things up so great for whoever it was going to be, whether it was him, Kamala, or Trump, if he did such a great job running things to pass it on to the next person, what future would you have to be so worried about? But again, nobody in that audience is going to think that way. Not a single person. Brad, I've been a member and supporter you, but I am at times get unsubscribed, Michelle. I want to talk about that real quick. I know we're slight deviation. Just so you guys know, that's not me. I don't even think I'm able to unsubscribe you. Not even that I would. Follow us over at Rumble, please. Here's my Rumble. Here's the video over at Rumble. Rumble does a great job. You can follow the video over there. At least follow me over at Rumble. You don't have to pay anything. It's free. And Rumble usually does a very great job of notifying us. They were a little slow today, but you will not be unfollowed over there. I go live. I'm live over there as well as right now. Michelle, you're not the only person that has said this to me, believe it or not. I think there's other people that might even affirm that the same things happen to them. Paul's another example. People's comments get deleted. I don't do any of that. I fully understand. I don't want to go on a massive tangent here. We all know right now, as patriots, as a community, we've already done the polls. YouTube is shadow banning us. They're not allowing our videos to get out there. I have almost 64,000 subscribers, and we get 500 views a video. I don't want to rehash it, so it's going to piss me off. Just so I see you, I highlight you, I love you. Just follow me over at Rumble so you're taken care of. I know. Yeah, I know you know it's not me, but I feel better because I don't want people to think that, you know what I mean? All YouTube conservative podcasts are being unsubscribed. Yeah, Alan, you're absolutely right. Yep. Well, I mean, it's part of the agenda, right? How can we get the truth out there to people? And that's what big tech doesn't want. They did the same thing in 2020. I mean, 2020, they actually just banned you. Dan Bongino was removed off YouTube. That's why he's over at Rumble now. But don't worry, you guys. There's nothing to be worried about here. Oh, no. Everything's going to be fine. What's astonishing here is Bernie Sanders gets chauffeured out. The 1%! And admits that most Americans live paycheck to paycheck under Kamala. They're leaning into this. Yeah, we did it. Oh, it's our bad, but don't worry, we're going to fix it. Oh, great. So you screwed me over for the last 4 years and kept reaming me from behind, and I'm supposed to expect you to fix things of the very thing that you caused. I mean, it is the definition of insanity, is it not?
My fellow Americans, when 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck, the top 1% have never, ever had it so good.
I want to point out, I shit you not, you guys, he's ragging on the 1% and the billionaires that they were so great, right? This is the guy that says the Waltons, the Walmarts, the 1%. Folks, you go into the 1%, you come out of the 1%. It's variable. Like the 1% changes all the time. You sold a bunch of properties, you sold a business. Well, for that 1 year, you're in the 1%, and that guy wants to tax the shit out of you. After him, a billionaire comes on stage after him. So the Harris campaign co-chair, Pritzker, Democrats want to cut taxes for everyday people. This is a bold-faced lie. Barack Obama came on and did nothing but lying. Bernie Sanders did nothing but lying. I mean, the whole place was just a lie fest, including on day one.
And Democrats want to cut taxes for everyday people. And Democrats want to cut taxes for everyday people.
15,000, 19,000, however many people were at that event, including the people that are watching, are going to sit there and believe it. That's the wild thing. She's come out and said she wants to increase your taxes to 70, 90% in that range. Let's just pretend that she doesn't. Let's just take it for maybe what they're saying is being truth. They are removing Trump's tax cuts. I used to do taxes. That doesn't mean I know everything. If average Americans, of who he's talking about, sat there and saved roughly, give or take, about 3% on their taxes with those Trump tax cuts, what do you think you're going to end up owing if you no longer have that 3%, Democrats? You're going to owe 3% more than you did under Donald Trump, and take that on the fact that everything's more expensive by 20%, which inflation is just a tax. Inflation can be looked at as just a tax. So not only are you losing that 3%, but you've been reamed on average 20.1%. So now your taxes went up about 23% because of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. And there's no thought process in there whatsoever. Can I show you the side by side really quick? Can we just do that? Because I mentioned it, but I didn't show it. Here's Bernie Sanders saying billionaires are bad. The next speaker was Pritzker.
Fine. We need an economy that works for all of us, not just the billionaire class. My fellow Americans, when 60% of our...
So you have that, right? No joke. The next speaker The next speaker is a billionaire.
Thinks that we should trust him on the economy because he claims to be very rich. But
he claims to be very rich. He has like $4.5 billion or something. What are you talking about? Like, when was it like when you a billionaire, like that's not considered rich?
It from an actual billionaire. Thinks that we should
I really, hand to God, I don't understand that. If you look at Donald Trump's worth, Donald Trump has more money than that guy does. Factual. That's not my opinion. That is pure data. Donald Trump has more billions, more money than that guy does. And somehow, oh, he's not wealthy, he's not rich. But don't worry, you guys. The DNC is going to sit there and take care of everything. They're even going to take care of crime while crime's being committed outside of the DNC during the DNC.
I think the momentum is really starting to stall out. I think this honeymoon period, this artificial halo effect that the media has given them is really hit about the point where people are going to go without starting to take the closer look at Harris. And that's where I'm surprised with these first two nights of the Democrat convention. They're not talking about inflation in the economy. They're not talking about securing the border. They're not talking about bringing about global peace. They're not talking about anything to do with crime, as the split screen is showing right now. They're talking about base politics. They're talking about identity politics. And there's nothing that they're saying that actually brings people together or says, here's how we can make a difference in your life or in your wallet.
They're not. It's funny because they said during the Republican RNC that, oh, they weren't talking about policy. That's all they did was talk about policy, what they want to do for the American people. All we have to do is say, hey, look what Democrats did to y'all for the last 4 years. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We want to take care of you. We want to make sure you have money in your pocket. We don't want to tax the shit out of you. Doesn't matter about your race, ethnicity, whatever it is. We want all Americans to be prosperous. But, you know, you got people being arrested. I mean, can we just go back to this? Look at this dude on the screen right now. Right here. Homie's getting arrested. He has no shirt on. His hat's all torn. Oh, shit. I'm just here for Kamala. She's going to make sure my taxes are lower. I just wanted to shake her hand and say thank you. God, they're so just bonkers, man. So you have also this Maryland Senate candidate, Angela also Brooks, that's really her last name, praises Kamala for a back on track program she implemented in San Francisco as DA. I'll show you in a moment. We got like 4 different clips here.
30% of all crimes.
Watch this.
For the 70% that are nonviolent, she created a first of its kind program called Back on Track. After serving time and pleading guilty, these low-level offenders will get the job training, GED help, and apprenticeships they needed to find a job.
Oh, good. Oh, goody. Oh, that's nice. Hey, so go ahead and tell all the people out there, if you want to get certain things paid for, go commit those crimes so that you have a low-level offense, but hell, you get a free education, you get those lawyer fees. Folks, DA's office, let illegal immigrants go. But she did such a good job. Oh, she did such a good job. That's from 2009. No. Oh, you know, I'm not done sitting there kicking this lady's ass. Oh, of course not. Here's another one. Victim of undocumented immigrants 2008 attack now cited by Trump allies swipes at Harris. Oh, after 15 years comes out publicly. Oh, but she did a phenomenal job during her time and tenure as a DA. Oh, phenomenal job. Oh, here's another. Oh, should we keep going? Of course we should. ABC News. There's an ad here that highlighted the 2008 story of a San Francisco woman who was attacked by a man who was in the country illegally and had been arrested for months earlier on drug charges, but was released as part of a new program. God, it sounds a lot like what that lady just said. But was released again from this program launched by Kamala Harris the city's new district attorney. So let me get this straight. Going back almost 20 years, I understand it's 2024, 16 years ago, you guys, she was the same person then as she is now on allowing illegal immigration to flourish and for those people to commit crimes in the United States, and she was willing to let them go. Democrats, I understand there's Republicans and conservatives, independents in here. You guys know, you've been watching the show long enough. If there's a Democrat that's made their way in here, because there was a guy, Dan, the other day. Where the hell is Dan at? We got other Dans in here that are patriots. Dan, if you're in here, show yourself. I ripped Dan a new one. If you haven't seen that video, we all know Dan. Everybody write Dan in the chat. We all know who Dan is. Dan, the guy that was in here the other day, that sat in there talking shit about all of us, that we kicked his teeth in. Look, Dan, if you're in here, we would love to welcome you back, sir. But these people don't assimilate this information at all. That she's the same person. She's just more radical now. If she was willing to do that in 2008 and 9 and destroy the state, what do you think she's willing to do as president? I mean, hell, look what she does as vice president. We were told she was in all the meetings. She was in all the rooms. Oh, she was there. She was telling Biden what to do. Whispering in his dead ear. Holy Lordy. JRB Ware, thank you so much for following us over at Rumble. Folks, I get the notification on my smartwatch. It links me. So Kamala, she just can't step away from the teleprompter, man. You know, like Trump does like 3-hour rallies. The script ain't that long, and it'll go off teleprompter. By the way, him going off teleprompter is what saved his life, by the way. It's the only reason Donald Trump is still alive today was because he turned his head and he goes, look at that illegal migration sink. Right? So she just can't.
And me to be the next vice president. The delegates at the Democratic National Convention, well, they just completed their roll call. And they have nominated Coach Walz and me to be the next vice president and president of the United States of America. The delegate.
It's just so fucking cringe. It's so bad. Like, okay, that was it. No. There's more. There's more. Kamala praises her people-powered campaign in which she and freakish the slob Tim Walz recently exactly had 0 votes from Americans. And watch the crowd go crazy.
We are so honored to be your nominees. This is a people-powered campaign. We are.
Oh, I cut it off. They go, yeah, a people-powered campaign. We said this yesterday. There is not a single person, alive or dead, that's ever existed, and I mean in all literal sense, that actually voted for Kamala Harris. Every single one of those people, no, let's just go back to it. Every single one of these people hated her in 2020, 2019. That's why she didn't even make it to the Iowa caucus. She was the worst polling nominee for the Democrat Party. Oh, fuck, we love you now. You're so good. Oh, my God, look at you. First black woman, Indian, something. So then she says, we believe in a future where lower the cost of living when I am president. I will bring down the cost of groceries. They've been saying this for 3.5 years. I can actually give you the word that they used or the phrase. They said we are in a transition phase for 2 years. Prior White House press secretary Jen Psaki, the circle back girl, the redhead, she would say, we're just in a transition phase. We're in a transition phase. And then it was inherited by Jean-pierre, the worst White House press secretary that's ever existed to ever serve or hold that position. And she carried on that legacy. We're in a transition phase. Remember when they changed the definition of recession to just fit their narrative that everything's fine? We're going to fix it. Everything's bad right now, but I'm going to get the job done for you.
We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families. And when I am president, I will bring down the cost of groceries by making sure markets are competitive and fair. We
How? You want to sit there and put in price gouging. Grocery stores have already come out and said that's going to put them out of business. There's interviews already out there. The media was actually doing their job. They said that's not going to work out. When the government steps in, that sits there and doesn't allow for a free market to actually be free. I understand there's things that have to be in there like regulations and stuff like that so people don't sit there and take advantage of others, which I guess is technically price gouging. But in a free market, if you're going to sit there and price gouge somebody, then those people shouldn't be buying that product. Clearly, it's not expensive enough if people are still buying it. You want to know something? If I can't afford to pay cash for something, guess what I don't do? I don't buy it. If I can't afford it, I follow Dave Ramsey. We hashed this out in the past. I don't spend things on credit. If I don't have money, I live a very frugal life. I'm a simple man, as you guys could see. I'm not, you guys see me wear the same shirts all the time. I'll go as far. I'm going to share too much information with you guys. I'm not going to go. We'll go there. You know, the boys, we wear underwear until there's holes in it, and then we still wear it. You know, you got to buy new underwear. Tommy John's, whatever it is. We don't have an advertisement for that. But what I'm saying is I'm a simple man. I make my own coffee, right? Make my own food. Yo, if I can't afford something, you can't buy it. Meaning if people are buying something at a price, then they can afford it. Like, I'm not buying $6 or $7 boxes of cereal. I love cereal. I'm not going to go out and buy it. It's too expensive. Could I afford it? Yeah, but it's ridiculous. We're going to bring down prices. You would have done it 3 years ago. You decided to sit there and pump the economy, Kamala, full of trillions of dollars, where Joe Biden and your ass came out and goes, oh, well, now the bargaining chip is back into the employee. Now they can negotiate prices. So labor went through the roof in terms of what was being charged for hourly wages, inflating everything because the government was outcompeting the private sector. Do y'all remember that, where people actually weren't going back to work because of the fact that they were being paid more to sit at home by the government than they were by their employer, as if that there's something wrong with their employer that negotiated a wage with that other person? If that person didn't think it was enough money, then guess what you can go do? You can go apply for another job asking for money. If you don't get that job because somebody's willing to do it cheaper, well, then the market set the standard for that wage. I don't understand why this is so difficult. Everybody thinks they should get paid more, right? Because we all want to sit there and buy cool more things. But if you sit there and you want, I'll say $30, I'm making something up, $30, because I actually had this happen with somebody before. If you want $30 to serve tables and that you sat there for 2 years and can't find a job, and my advice to you would be, well, maybe you should sit there and ask for less money, because if you ask for less money, that's probably what the market is at. And the market right now is dictating that you're not worth $30, even though you might be. Maybe you are, but the market says you're not. So maybe you need to lower your standard in terms of what you're worth. She's going to sit there and say, I'm going to make everything less expensive, but I'm going to sit there and remove the fossil fuel industry. There's advertisements that says that she wants to include the Green New Deal. Her policies, bare minimum, somebody already ran the numbers. Her policies like $1.7 to $1.9 trillion. We're $35 trillion in debt, folks. I don't understand why people buy into this crap. At least for me, when Donald Trump sits there and says something that I know is kind of exaggerated, at least I could sit there and call it out to the Patriots, go, all right, yeah, you know, that's a little exaggerated. I'll give you a case in point. We're going to deport all the millions of illegal immigrants in this country if I'm president. We're going to deport every single one of them. Does anybody, hand to God, actually believe Donald Trump literally means every single illegal immigrant? 25 million illegal immigrants? Come on, guys. Come on. If a Republican conservative actually believes Donald Trump's going to deport every single illegal immigrant, you're no different than a Democrat in terms of that line of thinking, that lack of linear thinking. Come on. He's not going to deport every single one. He'll deport some. I don't disagree with that, but to sit there and get 25, it's never happened in the history of mankind, you guys. You know what kind of money you need to do that, and what type of infrastructure of ICE, local law enforcement, as well as the intelligence apparatus that we need to utilize there in conjunction with the military. Come on, man. I mean, you are doing some crazy stuff by knocking on doors. I think that utilizing ICE, and it should happen, but 25, 30 million, run the numbers yourself and let me know. Run the numbers yourself. So here's Chuck Schumer, act like an idiot, coming on the stage. Now, if you just said, what was that? Hence the title of today's show. Yoink. What was that? Yes. Yes. Correct. Because what do you call this? What do you call this clown show? Yeah, we're playing it again. Yo, I don't know. Oh my goodness. I mean, it was cringy. It was terrible. What do you guys call that? Yeah, okay, so some of you are saying cringe. Like, what do you all call that in the chat? I don't know what you call it. I don't know what you would call it. No, So here's a little bit of Barack Obama at the Democrat National Convention. This is CNN.
78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories.
Just rehashing all that stuff again, right? Oh, the nicknames, the conspiracy theories. You mean like the Russiagate that you guys fabricated with the dossier, the Steele dossier? You mean the fact that it was all conspiracy theory about Benghazi, but that turned out that we were right? You mean the conspiracy theory about Kamala Harris having a server in her bathroom? Yeah, we were called conspiracy theorists again. We were called conspiracy theorists with the Hunter Biden laptop. Turned out to be real. We were conspiracy theorists about Joe Biden's business dealings with Romania, Russia, Ukraine. We were also conspiracy theorists about the PP tape or the hoax about Donald Trump. That turned out to be fake. We're conspiracy theories about what really took place on January 6th. Well, when we got to 40,000 hours, we turned out to be right. We're conspiracy theories about COVID-19 regarding that wasn't as bad as people claim to be, specifically the Democrat Party. Turns out that we were right. We said the 6 feet of distancing sounds like bullshit. We were called conspiracy theories. Turns out Anthony Fauci came up and said he completely fabricated it. He made it up. We said masking was completely bullshit as well because we performed various tests. It's all particles come through the mask. It's still contagious. It doesn't really work. No reason to put masks on children, even though children don't actually get or die in the same rates of those with multiple comorbidities. We were called conspiracy theorists then too. We're conspiracy theorists in terms of Joe Biden having a cognitive decline, which this asshole on screen right now sat there and covered up along with Kamala Harris and the rest of the Democrat Party apparatus. We were called conspiracy theorists then. Of course, we were right. His own party sat there and stabbed Joe Biden in the back, including this guy that didn't even have the balls to come out and say that Joe Biden shouldn't have held the office of the presidency, but worked behind closed doors with Nancy Pelosi to sit there and stab a guy that served that party for 50 fucking years in the back. And they're going to sit there and eat the gunk between this guy's toes that sat there and ran this country into the ground. We almost went into a depression when this guy was in the presidency. This is the guy that gave $1.7 billion cash to the Iranians. Cash, not even fungible money, cold hard cash on planes that sucker flew in. This guy gave the Iranians access to a nuclear warhead arsenal that ultimately was disbanded by Donald Trump. And now it's ultimately being built back up because Joe Biden's back in office. This is the guy that actually gave the cartel and drug lords machine guns, like fully automatic weapons, and sat there and said, hey, you know what? When they commit the crime, we'll be able to track the serial code numbers on the weapons, and we'll find the dealers that sold them those weapons after they committed the crime, and then we'll be able to get these people. That's called the Fast and Furious case. Yeah, this guy committed it. This is also the guy that utilized the IRS to go after conservative Republicans when he was president and lied about it, even though we have emails between Eric Holder as attorney general that said he's the wingman of the president, which is something that you don't do, and did all those things. I mean, we can keep going here. This is the guy that utilized the EPA to go after conservative Republicans as well. This guy is complete trash. The country started going downhill when this guy was president, and he's going to talk about Donald Trump being all upset the fact that he's being a banana republic in terms of the judicial system going after him for writing a legal expense for paying his lawyer All the while, this guy has actually lied. His Secretary of State allowed Benghazi to happen. Nobody wants to talk about that one, of which he was president for. You have these shady business dealings of your vice president taking place, doing quid pro quos on camera. So don't give me this shit about Donald Trump being upset with the fact that your party has manipulated this entire country to go after him and his family. All the while, you've sat there and flourished from your office as the presidency. You sat there, you don't even live in Chicago anymore because it's a complete dump. You don't even live in the worst areas of the Democrat Party in terms of their ruling because you know your party's trash at running things. You sat there and allowed taxes to take place upon average Americans, which crippled them during your presidency. So don't give me this crap, Brock, that you're all of a sudden holier than thou the rest of us and you're going to rip on Donald Trump when actual average Americans flourished. And because of COVID-19, of which your party hasn't done jack bleep about, according to China, for allowing that to take place upon the globe. So don't give me this stuff of like we're conspiracy theorists. You're damn right it gets me going. You're damn right.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on. The other day I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute of every day. Now, from a neighbor, that's exhausting. From a president, it's just dangerous.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Dangerous. And they're surprised that Donald Trump was shot in the head. Here he is again. If this doesn't get you fired up to vote, I don't know what does. And fired up, I mean, like, it's frustrating as hell. And I don't want to have to see this guy come out again and speak in front of the American people at all.
We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos.
I'm going to play that back. I just want to see if you caught that. What did he say?
Years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before.
Weird. Because in the last clip, he just said and talked about how Donald Trump does name calling and all those things. Weird how he just did that. And mind you, like this lady sitting here, no connection whatsoever to the fact that he just said one thing and completely as a hypocrite, because that's what Democrats do, and said the exact thing that he just sat there and called out Donald Trump for doing. No thought process, empty head, nothing in here. No, like if Donald Trump did that, I would at least sit there and I'd tell probably my wife, whoever sitting next to me, like, that's a little hypocritical. That's kind of screwed up. I don't know why you would do that.
And we are.
Because I'm not beholden to a party. These people are in a cult, man. They're just going to vote. Folks, you should never vote along party lines. You vote because that politician is a tool. They're a mechanism for us. We love Donald Trump, but he's a tool to sit there and get the agenda done for conservatives, Republicans, and for the American people. That's all they are. They're not the second coming of Christ. They're just people that are tools that we use to move and advance a specific movement, and that's America, to make America great again. This guy doesn't want to do it.
All know that the sequel is usually worse.
Yeah. Except there's no thought that if Democrats get back in office, the sequel is going to be worse. Absolutely. I mean, maybe he's a prophet, you guys. Maybe this guy just there. So I'm not going to subject you to Barack Obama anymore because he just sat there and just said a bunch of lies and everybody was eating it up, you know, sitting there like, oh, he's so great, Barack, so great. Well, let me tell you something that's actually great. 1775 coffee, baby. Say goodbye to Starbucks. If Kamala Harris is in office, it's going to be $7, okay? Right now, it's like $5-6. It's going to be $7. And we had Jerry. Jerry sent me a photo. He actually purchased this. Jerry's a longtime member and supporter of the Bald Brad Show. He took a photo of his medium roast. He got the medium roast. So unlike other brands, these corporations, Rumble's 1775 Coffee actually backs free speech, and that's why that's our main platform here. And they're unapologetic about it. And that's why I said, if you're following me over at YouTube, come over to Rumble if you want to say whatever you want. Use promo code STUDIO to get 15% off, folks. This stuff comes in medium and dark roast. Like I said, Jerry got the medium roast. I prefer the dark roast. That's how you get the dark, luscious beard. And it also comes in pea berry. That's like a Kona coffee if you're not familiar with that. In other words, this stuff is premium, folks. It's good. You're not going to get a weird taste. It's nice on the palate. It's a good morning coffee, and we do a morning show here. That's why you want to pick up yourself a 1775 coffee pack right now by going to 1775coffee.com. Use promo code over here or the QR code. Use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off today, folks. Phenomenal coffee and an American brand that supports patriots, and that's what we got to do, folks. With that being said, that is today's show. We went a little bit longer than usual, but I greatly appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you to everybody that sat there and contributed their hard-earned money to the chat. I know over at YouTube, we had Michelle today for $5. We had Eric Birch for $5. Thank you so much. Over at Rumble, it doesn't show me who donated, but I believe it was Jason. I think Jason gave the $5. Yeah, Jason gave the $5. Thank you so much. Oh, Dizzy gave $1. I'm so sorry. I completely missed that. Thank God I scrolled all the way up. Dizzy gave that early on in the live stream. Dizzy gave $1. FJB and F. Kamala Harris, absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. And I sincerely apologize. I can't even believe I missed that. I'm glad I caught that. Even if it's $1, you guys, really, it means that much to me. So you should be read out loud for that. Great show. Rant was exceptional. Thanks, Krager. I'm surprised you guys like the rants. Sometimes I think I go a little bit too far. Seemed short. Oh, well, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. We've been here for an hour. I've been streaming for an hour and 14 minutes. So contact Noble Gold. They love conservative podcasts. We'll pay you, hon. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. I'll make note of that. Noble Gold. I will reach out. Sometimes because my viewership's low, and I'm not complaining about that. I appreciate you guys in here. A lot of people won't want to sponsor that. Usually you need like 10,000 views per video for somebody to sponsor you. So that's why we love Rumble. They're taking care of a small site like us, and I appreciate that. So well, that doesn't mean we're going to still try to grind here. We're going to still try to grow. We're grassroots. There's no corporation behind me. Literally just myself and maybe Secret Agent, who does a phenomenal job. And you guys as patriots that keep the show running. So thank you so much, folks. We'll be back here tomorrow for a day 3 recap, which is going to be Kamala Harris. Oh, I can't wait till it's over, man. It's so cringe. With that being said, folks, hit that like and subscribe button if you feel like we deserved it. Would love to see you all in the live chat again tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check out the book, Trojan Horse. We also have merchandise, baldbrad.com. We have a baldbradstore.com, all that stuff, folks. With that being said, I'll see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.